Zugzwang in German means compulsion to move. If you play chess, you know what Zugzwang is. It is a situation where no matter what kind of move you make, you will be in a position worse than now. Zugzwang is a very, very bad place to be when you play chess. It usually leads to not good outcome. And it is easy to say that Zugzwang is a trap. And Russia isn't Zugzwang. Russia is trapped. Howdy, everyone. Welcome to Inside Russia. My name is Konstantin. I'm streaming live, telling you things about Russia, explaining you the current situation, events unfolding. I am streaming from Uzbekistan, but Russia is still inside me. So, welcome to Inside Russia. I would like to talk about very interesting, kind of tragic thing, but anyway, I would like to talk about where Russia finds itself today. What is Russian position and situation? For you to understand better, I would like to compare where Russia was 8 months ago and where it is now. Mere 8 months ago, Russia was actually not in a bad place in the world. Russia was okay. Not the finest hour it was enjoying, but you know what? Living in Russia 8 months ago was all right. I know very well because I lived in Russia 8 months ago and some 20 years before that. So I would like to break down Russia into a few major parts and talk about them because they really would comprise Russia, so to speak. First is the economy. It's all about the economy, stupid. That's what they taught me in school. Russia economy was actually strong. Believe it or not, but with all BS that was government pulling on people, with all that tightening control and so forth, freedoms being taken away for the past few years, Russian economy found itself in a very strong position 8 months ago. The thing about Russian economy is that Russia enjoys enormous resources, natural resources. And this is the foundation for the economy. Oil, gas, minerals, fertilizers, you name it, and Russia has it. And Russia has it in great excess. So it can sell abroad to other countries. And there are so many countries that they need natural resources. So, Russian economy found itself in very low national debt, especially compared to other countries. The United States close to $30 trillion, which is kind of insane and crazy. Russia had tiny debt, and it had surplus. Budget surplus, meaning Russia was making more than it was spending, and Russia had the reserve fund, money in the savings account, lots of money in the savings account. One of the biggest Russian economy advantages was that it had customers that provided a very solid, very guaranteed stream of revenue. That was the European countries. Natural gas and oil. Russia had perfect customers. Europe, the European Union. It was supplying gas to countries through pipeline right next door, and the countries were excellent payers. Long-term contracts, they were paying a lot for Russian natural gas. Germany was the gem of all customers. Germany, one of the strongest economies in the world, was using lots of Russian gas, was dependent on that. and it was Germany's competitive advantage over other countries because, it was cheaper to manufacture using Russian natural gas. So Russia was all set, so to speak. Russian economy was set for years and decades to come. It just needed to be managed somewhat well, and that's it. Now let's move to Russian army. Oh, Russian army was strong. One of the strongest, the biggest, and the baddest in the entire world. Well, of course, Russian army has a great ancestor, so to speak, the Soviet army, with cutting-edge technologies, with nuclear weapons, with the best tanks, the best planes, and so forth. But you know what? Russia was right there also, on par with the Soviet army. I mean, it had cutting-edge stuff, armatas, the brand new cutting-edge technology tanks. There are so many billions of rubles had been spent on designing them and creating them. Thousands of armatas were supposed to be in the army by the 2022. Thousands. And that tank, let me tell you, that tank was invincible. At least that's what they were telling us. But we believed. They showed us a couple tanks. They were in the parade. Armadas. Unstoppable armada. Well, planes, the best in the world. And Su-35, the best in the world, continued. I remember back in 2008, was it 8? Perhaps 10, there was a Russian air show called MAX, and Vladimir Putin signed a decree ordering so many hundreds of these planes, brand new planes for the Russian army. That was, 14 years ago? 12 years ago? So there must be thousands of those birds flying, making Russia's sky safe and all of that, And then, my gosh, wait a second, that's not it. Russian soldiers were protected like you wouldn't believe. They had the latest armor that humanity designed. They showed us. They showed Vladimir Putin directly at one of the military shows. Okay, I saw that in the news. They were explaining there was a video camera and there was an iPad here and there was like tons of armor everywhere. The soldier looked like there was a movie a long time ago called Starship Troopers. Those soldiers had like armor, and then that's what Russian soldiers looked like. So best in the world. And in the world, other countries believed in it. Believed that Russian army was one of the best. Let's move forward. NATO. NATO was there. It was not a threat until the very recent events. It was just a bunch of countries, our neighbors, our, countries just in a union, in an alliance, so to speak. And that's it. Some 18 years ago, NATO is actually our friend. We had a complete, a constant representation in NATO, and Russia was actually trying to become a part of NATO, and NATO snubbed it, but that's a different story. So NATO was not, how can you become a part of something that you consider your enemy? No, I was a friend. Okay. So it was just there, no big deal. Moving forward, reputation in the world, in the international community, and image. Russia enjoyed decent reputation. Well, of course, internally, Russia had problems with freedoms, citizens, human rights, and so forth. But who doesn't? Okay, very few people don't. People in the West, they usually don't. But anyway, in general, Russia enjoyed decent reputation. Okay, it was welcomed everywhere. It had friends, it had allies, and Russian long-time Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sergei Lavrov, was actually respected very well and, welcomed everywhere. I remember those times Moreover, I remember an interview that Stephen Cohen, long-time American greatest diplomat and expert on Russia, was given to Larry King back in 2014, and he praised Lavrov. He said, look, Sergei Lavrov is like outplays everyone. I mean, that guy is great, you know. And he even suggested the USA would hire Lavrov after he would retire from Russian diplomacy. You can go and watch that interview, Larry King with Stephen Cohen. Fantastic stuff. So Russia had pretty good reputation. Russian money. Russian money was welcomed everywhere. It was not a big deal to move Russian money out of the country to someplace else. No one asked questions where money was originated. Well, they did ask questions, but more for tax reasons rather than for investigations and stuff like that. Rich Russians were welcome everywhere. France, the UK, the United States, you name it. Beverly Hills, Sunny Isles, London, Nice, Biarritz, you name it. Just Russians were always welcome. They were rich. They were throwing money left and right, no problem whatsoever. Moreover, lots of people in Russia, even with minor administrative positions, on the ground, so to speak, were multimillionaires, and most of them moved their money to Spain, to France, to Italy, to the United States as safe haven, and they had plans upon retiring, moving to their families and living happily ever after there. It happened before, for decades, okay? Overall, summing up, 8 months ago, overall mood in Russia was good. Life was good. The mood was sunshine. Dark spots on the sun, but that's okay. Most Russians were saying, been there, done that before, seen that before, lived through it before. So everything was kind of normal. Russia had future. Russia had plans. Russia was coming out of COVID-19 pandemic, and it had this vaccine, Sputnik 5, which was sold to many countries and was supposed to do miracles. I'm not really sure if it did miracles, but that's at least what they were saying. And even some other countries were saying that. So Russia was not too bad. Not my opinion. Now, this is October 2022. This is mere 8 months after that time when mood was great. And let's compare what I just told you about. Economy. I gotta make him. I have to apologize. For so many months, I had been telling you that Russia was facing an economic tsunami that was coming to Russia. I was wrong. I have downgraded the forecast. I think that not a tsunami, because tsunami is something that fairly short term, and you can rebuild after tsunami. Tsunami comes, floods everything, takes lives. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. If people are prepared, it doesn't. But it destroys. It destroys buildings. It just destroys boats, everything. It wreaks havoc. Okay, but the water goes back into the ocean. And then people get up, so to speak, look around, and start rebuilding. And then within certain reasonable time, they rebuild. And their lives are the same after the tsunami as they were before. Russia is not facing tsunami. Russia is facing, it's already undergoing a collapse. Russian economy is a topic of a separate stream, which I'm going to do later. Now I'm just going to give you two things, and you will understand immediately why I think the collapse is underway. First, in 8 months, Russia has lost natural resources. Well, they're still there. They're still in the ground. They're still in the tanks, in pipelines, But no one is buying them anymore. Europe has ceased to be Russia's most reliable customer. At first, Russia had played some kind of political game with Europe, using natural gas, as a way of influence, as a muscle, muscle in Europe into what I don't really know, into perhaps lifting sanctions, which was kind of crazy. I don't know who would do such a thing. Normal person? No, but anyway, it was being done. And then, but Russia always had a way out. Okay, there was ventil. There was basically a switch on and off. It turned it off, but it always had a possibility to turn it back on. Okay, and all of a sudden, something very bad for Russia happened. Pipelines, they simply were blown up, and Russia physically cannot supply oil to Europe. Natural gas to Europe any longer. And Russian oil cannot be supplied because one of the sanctions packages forbids European countries to buy Russian oil. So Russia has lost an enormous part of its revenue that was filling Russia's budget. Sales of oil and gas amounted to a little less than 50%. I think it was 47%. Imagine that. 47% of Russian revenue, 47% of Russian budget, it disappears. Starting 2023. This is the demise, okay? This is the collapse, complete collapse. Just that fact alone is going to bring Russian economy on its knees. But then, wait a second, it gets better, okay? Russia did the first thing to itself. And Russia did the second thing I'm going to tell you right now to itself as well. The mobilization that is undergoing right now. I've been talking about this for the past 2 weeks. Here and there, I've been touching this topic. I have left Russia myself. Well, just imagine. There's a balance in the economy. There are so many jobs. There's a workforce. That workforce is about 50-50 in Russia. 50% women, 50% men. Like 48-52 or something like that. But, for the sake of simplicity, 50-50. So there's balance in the economy. And all of a sudden, within 2 weeks, my friends, economy doesn't work that fast. That is not a collapse. That is not a tsunami. That's an earthquake, okay? Mobilization means people come, mobilization officers come to workplace and yank people out of work. That happened in my company, okay? They came and served papers to our employees saying, you have to show up at the mobilization center, I don't know, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. That's it. So imagine that. You have a company, people working, you create product, you sell it. There's a process, manufacturing process. And then government people show up and say, hey, we take this, and this guys. And they take them. And there's nothing you can do, nothing they can do. So, short summary. Over 1 million people, males, young males, able, willing to work, confident, skilled, healthy, have left Russia. 300,000 have been mobilized. That's the official numbers of the Russian army, which I doubt because mobilization is still going on. And they told us about a week ago that The goal was over, that 300,000 people filled, and now they continue mobilizing men. So must be more than 300,000. And according to Forbes, 700,000 men left Russia, fleeing mobilization. That's over 1 million people in 2 weeks. My friends, this is insane. Imagine what it does to the economy. To say it's not good is a gross understatement, okay? So, loss of huge, half of revenue, annual revenue to Russian budget, number one, instant loss of over 1 million young, able males. That, my friends, is a collapse, and it's undergoing right now. The companies simply stop operations because of this SHIT going on, okay? So Russian economy is on the knees and just keeps on falling further. Russian army. Oh, where do I have to start here? Russian army has been involved into the conflict with Ukraine. In Russia, they call it the special military operation, but we all know what it is called in reality. You see, 8 months ago, there was a myth about Russian army being strong, big, tough, high-tech, and stuff like that. Now, this is the reality. There are groups of people who support Russian army and Russian cause. I don't know why they're doing that, but there are people like that. They buy different things, clothing, warm clothing, regular drones, and supply it to the Russian army, okay? You can see advertisement for such groups everywhere. Please help our army. I don't really kind of 2 and 2 together doesn't add up. The strongest army in the world and regular citizens doing fundraisers, going door to door, trying to get warm clothes, in drones and stuff like that for our boys. Okay, so the results of the Russian army have shown that first, it's not equipped well. Second, it's not trained well. Third, it's not armored well. And the fourth, its leadership is, as one of the Russia's top officials said that, he said bad words about Russian military leadership, okay? And he said there's corruption, he said there's lack of talent, lack of management, and so forth. None other than Ramzan Kadyrov said that. Not only Russian army is in shambles, there is a fight inside Russia, inside political groups aimed at the army. And this is insane, okay? That myth of a huge, big, strong army has disappeared. Everyone sees what Russian army looks like. And guess what? There are countries that are really happy about that. And that's not NATO, because NATO is a defensive alliance. But none other than China, Chinese generals and Chinese leadership, I think they're doing this right now. They're sitting, looking at one another, laughing, discussing, and they going, oh yes, just like that. Said, ooh, Russia is coming to us, That's what they're doing. I'm pretty sure of that, okay? So Russia's army is tossed. There's even worse blow to the Russian army. You see, all that information about lack of armatas, about lack of Su-35s, lack of cutting-edge equipment, armor, and so forth, it can be made secret, like they've made it secret. If somebody says something about Russian army that contradicts the official point of view, the official news, that person can be thrown to jail for up to 15 years, okay? They're not telling how many losses we have incurred and so forth, but what they can't hide is people who have been mobilized. They are supposed to be put in mobilization centers, given, equipment, clothing, fed, and they must be put in training, and the training up to like at least 2 months. Well, but you can't really hide people taking their cell phones and filming conditions that they live. In some places, people are kicked out in sub-zero temperatures in Celsius, and they told, you sleep on the ground because we don't have space for you. And people burn fires to warm themselves up. That's how in some places in the Russian army, the new not recruits, but this people who have been mobilized are treated. Okay, that's not the way to handle people, to treat people. What happened to all that professional army that was fighting in Ukraine in the past months? Why do we need mobilized people? No one is asking this question, but that's on the surface. It's pretty obvious, okay? And all that mobilization stuff, it doesn't help the Russian army, okay? I think the reputation is the lowest ever, among all the countries, lowest probably in the world, okay? That's what happened to the Russian army. NATO. Before it was a neutral, way before it was a friendly alliance, then it was neutral. It was never an enemy, really. But now it's an enemy. Now NATO was forced to take up new strategy. Russia had never been the enemy of NATO number one. Okay, it was just a concern. But now entire might of NATO is aimed at suppressing Russia, confining Russia. Okay, and that's official. That's the strategy. And there are two new countries that are neighbors of Russia, Finland and Sweden. They had always been neutral, and it was actually pretty good for Russia. But Russia started doing this tragedy in Ukraine. I don't know how to call it. Just words don't cut it, really. And then the neighbors of Russia, they said, oh, we don't want Russia to do that to us. So therefore, we want protection. And they joined NATO, plain and simple. So NATO has expanded by thousands of kilometers of land border with Russia. This is just absolutely crazy. They didn't want Ukraine to become NATO, but guess what? Ukraine would never become NATO. It was pretty obvious. Instead, they got so many more thousands of kilometers of land border with fresh NATO members. Russian reputation in the world. I don't even know if there's such a thing as Russia's reputation in the world. It has no reputation. Its image from being a decent country with some, black spots perhaps, but who doesn't have them, has been degraded to a pariah state. No one wants to do anything with Russia any longer. Russia's been kicked out of everything. International politics, international economy, international sports, international science. Russia has been made a pariah, an island with a real bad pandemic inside where no one wants to even get close to. And it's fairly safe to say that Russia has done it to itself. To top it off, Sergei Lavrov, who used to be such a profound expert, such a respected guy, anywhere he was welcomed. Now he goes to large meetings. When he gets up to speak, people just get up and leave. That's how they show their attitude. Or they turn their backs to him. That's the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Russia. So Russian reputation is no more. It just doesn't exist. Mere 8 months later. Russian money. Remember I told you it was so easy to move Russian money out of Russia to anywhere? And for that matter, inside to Russia. Lots of government officials were moving out their money. They were settling their families into safe havens, then moving themselves and so forth. That no more. Russian financial system has been isolated, and all the bridges with the rest of the world have been cut. The ties have been cut, so to speak. It's really difficult to move money into Russia right now. It's nearly impossible to move out of Russia. Large world's payment system, Visa, MasterCard, have left. No one wants to do anything with Russia's own payment system called Mir. Union Pay, the Chinese system that Russians were saying that would bring to Russia and save us, have ceased operating in Russia. Chinese banks, no banks take Union Pay. They don't take Union Pay here in Uzbekistan and in many other countries. The cards that were issued in Russia. Okay, so it's really easy to say that, really safe to say that Russia has been isolated and Russia has been made, how do I say that, right? Unshakable. Hand unshakable. In other words, kaput. No one wants to do anything with Russian money. And those people who are stealing from the budget on all levels of the government, oh, they must be angry, okay? Because what are they going to do with the money now? Because sooner or later, KGB will find and, squeeze their money out of them. They cannot safeguard the money any longer. They cannot move to France or the United States or England and live nice life happily ever after. They are stuck here in Russia. And I think many, many people right now are so mad. And I think if they met, that's why the president of Russia is meeting everyone via Zoom and then, this virtual meetings on TV, because he knows that there are so many people mad at him. Overall, the mood in Russia right now is doom, doom, doom. The mood outside is anger and outrage towards Russia, okay? From 8 months ago, being fairly normal country that everyone treated just like any other country, with fairly strong economy and fairly decent things inside, we have gone to a completely a wreck on the inside and a pariah state on the outside. That everyone wants to, lots of people want Russia to cease to exist. Okay. They have been trying real hard. And by them, I mean the people who have been running Russia, who have been making these decisions. They have put Russia into a situation of Zugzwang. It's cornered. It's trapped. No matter where it goes with the current leadership right now, it finds itself in a worse position. Look at the strikes, missile strikes that happened to Ukraine 2 days ago. Russia did that, but did it find itself in a better position? Yes, it did strike quite a few infrastructure objects, power plants, substations, and so forth. Well, did Russia benefit from it? Not in the slightest, It just made Russia's position worse because people get angrier and angrier. And you know what? The payback is going to be tougher. With the current leadership, Russia has no way out. I think the best thing they can do at this point, the least harmful thing, is to cease all escalation and freeze this situation at this level. Withdraw all the troops from Ukraine and, just lay low, so to speak. Russia will be isolated and it still will be pariah, but these people will save their power. At least from the outside. It's not a fact that the Russian people will allow that to happen, but I'm just saying from the outside. But that's not going to happen because these people know that once they stop escalating, they will be taken care of by the forces on the inside of Russia, okay? So the only way they're left is to escalate. And there's just no way out. Is there no way out completely for the country? Well, of course not. There is a way out, but not with this leadership. What Russia needs to do right now, I think, my opinion, is to stop all the bloodshed, to make this decision, to openly say, hey, we made a mistake. We apologize. We want to make it up to you somehow. And start at least talking with the world community, international community, and Ukraine. And there will be a lot of bad things coming to Russia after that. The payback. Like I said, there will be a payback. Okay? But that's the way out. That's a real way out. And I don't think it's going to happen. Because not with this leadership. The pressure inside Russia is growing. I think it cannot build up forever. I think it'll reach the breaking point sooner or later, probably sooner. And I don't know what's going to happen. We will see. But what I sincerely think is that we are seeing the last, meters, the last steps, the last distance before finish, before it ends and before it's, culminates in one way or another. And I don't really know what that way will be. I don't think anyone knows. Anyway, this has been my message for today. I hope you found it interesting, valuable somewhat. Thank you so much. I would like to turn on the comments. Last couple streams were very tough, as you know, most of you know. And I'm much better now. I see path much clearer. I hope that you watched Manifesto that I did yesterday. And let me tell you, lots of things changed. And I keep on going. Before I turn on the comment, I would like to warn you that there's a troll or quite a few trolls. They have my picture and they have this name WhatsApp or something like that. And then they are inviting people to participate in some kind of financial scam. That's not me. I've banned these trolls extensively, but they just keep on coming up. So please use common sense. I'm not asking any one of you to participate in any kind of financial schemes, financial pyramids, or whatever, So please be aware. Thank you so much. Overall, I'm feeling pretty determined. and pretty strong. So it's great to see your opinions again. Running out of tea. It's Taylor's at Harrodgate, but there's plenty of tea at the store, so I'm gonna get some more tomorrow. Hang on, let me open chat in a new window like I usually do. It's much easier this way. I see quite a few people. The usual suspects are here. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. Mommy Lorna, as usual, number one. Angelic at Live. Dirk, I hope you're feeling better. You're dead too. Reesus. Lars Henrik Jensen. Sam Sagael, Emmer Makis. Maria Colon, Mr. Banana Drunk. Okay, well, the usual suspect. And the usual suspects, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. If you want me to see your comment, please put it in caps after Inside Russia, after @, so it appears in a large orange box. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate your answers. I'm sorry, questions, my answers. I appreciate you being here, spending time, and I appreciate you will go to the prayer with me at the end of the stream. Thank you so much. Andrew Baker, thank you so much for support. Appreciate it. Black Cat, howdy. Black Cat is an unofficial member of Inside Russia mod team. He warns everyone to stay nice, usually. Hope your day is going well. Well, it's going much better than before yesterday. Thank you so much. The messages keep on coming, by the way. There are about 4,000 messages right now, 2 days after. I'm so glad. I'm grateful to you for delivering, for being God's messengers, and for God to actually send me messages. He keeps on reinforcing me, Liz, thank you so much. It won't let me post without super chat, but lovely to see you smile. Why it doesn't let you post without a super chat? That's interesting. I don't even know how to, what to do. Please, mods, if you know, please let me know after the stream. Angelic at Life, I hope you feel better. I think you will be better in mind and soul when your family comes. Nothing but love as always. Thank you so much. I will be 100% better when my family comes. That's for sure. But trust me, I am much better right now. Whoa, that was a tough stream 2 days ago. John Wakamatsu, great to see you. Thank you. Cheer up and buy some tea. Thank you. I'm trying. John is a long-time viewer and the usual suspect, and he was there, I don't know, a long time ago in the private live streams for patrons and sponsors, which happen on every Saturday. By the way, if you're a patron or a sponsor, please come and join a live stream. That's my way of thanking you for supporting. Phil Monson, thank you so much. No message, but this message is strong enough. London Water, love from Maine. Mainers are coming, more and more Mainers. I got 3 messages and emails from people from Maine. It's amazing. Now you're the 4th one, and we had 3 or 4 Mainers in the chat before. So Maine is represented here. And I'm a Mainer too. Love from Maine, you're right. What goes up must come down. Hopefully this will end soon. I hope so. Thank you so much, and great to see you. Have a lobster for me, please. Eddie, very open words today, but I never think that Mr. Give Up. He don't like to get a mistake into himself. He will mobilize. Okay. Right? He will mobilize the last man he gets. There will be a stream on mobilization. There is a new wave, and something really sinister is happening as I'm speaking right now. Thank you so much for the message, for the support, and thanks for the message. Please tune in tomorrow. We will talk about the mobilization. I will give you the latest of the latest. Charles Steiner, thank you so much for the support. Darren Islar, about your manifesto, I was thinking whether starting a Russian channel, you speaking Russian might be an idea to reach Russians who can't speak English. My friends, I have been asked this question hundreds of times. Now, it's time to answer me. It's time for me to answer. Look, I will not start the Russian channel for one simple reason. There are dozens of excellent professional Russian channels. They are run by professional journalists that are so, out there professionally up in the skies. I am laughingstock compared to them. I get some of my material they present to you from them. Russians have 100% everything they need right in front of their eyes. Okay? Why do they need me? They have channels made by Russians, for Russians, with Russians. Okay? So no way I start Russian channel. When I was in Russia, I was knocking on doors, not through YouTube, but through speaking to people, through trying to give them materials and so forth. And you know what? I couldn't. I was knocking on doors, but those doors are made of brick and they're like brick walls. So I will not start Russian channel. If there was nothing in the Russian internet, I would think about this, but there's plenty, trust me. There's more stuff than you have in English on Russia. So I will not start a Russian channel. Amir, great to see you. Thank you so much. Happy to see some of the weight off your shoulders. We all love you. You've grown quite a community here. Like family. Amir, thank you so much. You're definitely not just the usual suspect, but a friend. Thank you so very much for all your support and for your words and for being there here. Babs56, so happy to see you. Here a little help for you. Thank you so much. Help is needed these days. Very appreciated. Rudy Kaisley, pensioner Rudy here. I endorse your mission. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's also a sign, that I'm doing right. I'm going to the right direction. Thank you so very much. Deuce Ire, now I have new bank card. I can send you super chat. Keep on keeping on. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Message is received and support is very welcome. Grace Philosophy, great to see you. Grace is one of those people very close to me who was actually praying all the way when I was escaping Russia, for hours and hours. Thank you so much, Grace. I appreciate your just being there, and let alone super chats and support. So thank you so much. Bronwyn, thank you. You hit the nail on the head with what you should happen. I think the world would be relieved. Russia is a beautiful country. Leadership needs to change. Take care, Konstantin. And you know what? In my manifesto, I said that I will be doing everything I can to help stop this terrible conflict, terrible tragedy, to help Ukraine rebuild and help Russia rebuild, and help people kind of bridge them together. I will be trying at least. I don't know how far I will go. I don't know how important what I do, on a large scale, but I will be trying and trying and trying. So I totally agree with you. Russia is a beautiful country and it has the future. I'm not giving up on it. Thank you. Philip Lewis, appreciate your channel. I just wonder why this action by Russia with Ukraine wasn't done in the late 90s and early 2000s after Afghanistan. Why did they wait so long? Your insight is appreciated. Philip, I appreciate the support. I don't understand the question. What do you mean? why this action by Russia with Ukraine wasn't done in the late 90s and early 2000s after Afghanistan. What, Russia would seize lands of Ukraine or what? I don't understand why would they do that. Vladimir Putin officially gave an interview, I think, right after he became president. He said he promised never, like, to always respect the borders of Ukraine. Like, Russia would never attempt to take part of Ukraine, stuff like that. It's out there. It's on YouTube. You can check it out. So I didn't quite understand the question. Why didn't do what? Mad Blazer 89. I heard Nissan sold their facilities in Russia for €1, leaving them with $368 million loss. Things are serious. Well, I'll remind you that Renault, the French company, lost 3.6 billion euros. It also sold all its assets there in Russia for €1. Okay, so Nissan is the next. Things are serious, my friends. Don't underestimate this tornado that is going on. This collapse. Calvin, God bless you, Constantine from Youngstown, Ohio. Thank you so much. Thank you, appreciate it. Damien Da Silva. Hello, my friend. We need all Russians of goodwill to rise up in Moscow and St. Petersburg. Dangerous but necessary. God helps those who help themselves. The message is taken. Thank you so much. Not too many people doing that, but one of those days I will tell everything there is to tell about myself, but not yet. In terms of your statement. Thank you, Damien. Thank you. I appreciate it. Black Cat. Best host, best mods, best friend right here in the chat. Thank you, my friend. Always a pleasure to hear from you. Judith Moody. Thank you for your support. No message, but this is very powerful message. Tom. Hope there are more so heartful people in Russia. Please keep on sharing your thoughts and try to reach more, and hopefully we soon get peace and might sit together and can enjoy life again. Tom, thank you so much. I'm doing my best. I'll be trying. I'll be doubling. I have already started doubling my efforts. Thank you so very much. Laura Ambrosio, thank you. No message, but this is a very strong message. And Andrew Baker saying thank you. Appreciate the support. There's a message from Luke King. View of China. Most of the media I see talk about special relationship between Russia and China. What do you think China is hoping for? And it's good to see you looking a lot better. Thank you so very much. For saying I'm looking a lot better. I'm feeling rejuvenated and stronger. I'm not sure how I'm looking, but I'm feeling inside different. Thank you. So look, this is a very interesting topic that's worth a different stream. I already had a stream on China. You see, Russian media, they don't have anything else to say, because they cannot say anymore that Russian army is strong. They had been saying it all summer long. Now, Russian officials come out, ex-generals, senators, and saying, stop lying about the army. People are not stupid. Tell the truth about the army, what's going on. Ramzan Kadyrov coming out and publicly saying, hey, this army is run by idiots and covered up by idiots, okay? By talentless people, so to speak. That's officials saying, So they cannot talk about army in superlatives, in good words. But they gonna give people something, some kind of a hope. What is hope left? China, our friend, mightiest economy in the world. Forget about America. China is our friend, will help us. If they say the truth about China, they have nothing else to lie about. That's why they keep on saying things about China. China is not stupid. Look, China is they doing like this. Ooh, soon we're gonna expand. Soon we're gonna expand. Stuff like that. Andrew Baker, thank you so much. And Brianna B, thank you so very much. We have a new sponsor, Adam Oliver. Welcome to Inside Russia. William Handy, remember the grace of God all around us. Thank you so much. I've been given examples of that lately, and thanks for the support, and I appreciate the message too. Hawk lagging, the Russian refugees should be seen as crucial political resource in every country. This many of them, 5+ parties and civil liberties groups should be founded. Maybe you can help with that without receiving a party member. Well, let me tell you, there's not much stuff I so little, but you're spot on, basically. Okay, there are still some things I can't talk, and you please read between the lines. But things happening here in Uzbekistan. Yeah, I'm talking about the Russian refugee. The community is forming, and my friends, none of other than your humble servant, that is me, goes out every morning, has breakfast with different people, and buying breakfast to them, my treat, buying coffee to them, and one of those days I'm going to tell you everything about it. Lars Olson. Tomorrow, by the way, tune in. I will post for sponsors, for patrons, I will post the breakfast that we have every morning. Lars Olson, thank you so much. Remove current leadership in a couple of weeks. Massive general strike. Time will tell. Time will tell. I can't really comment that. I just don't know. Thanks for the support. Thank you, Frank in Texas, the very usual suspect, the very dear usual suspect, my friend. Thank you. David Sharp. Hi, Konstantin. Thank you. Right about China, and I think they still want Vladivostok back. Oh, yes, they do. They already have plans, I'm pretty sure, and they play the long game. And the Russians, well, in Russia, we say in a situation about this, when somebody gets himself into a situation, we usually say, well, and I'm putting it very mildly, he soiled his pants. My friends, tomorrow morning, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the comments that weren't super chats, that just regular comments that were put in caps. I'm going to take the most interesting ones. I'm going to, make a separate video. I wanted to do it last week, but, couldn't do it. Once a week, I'm going to be releasing a question and answer type of video where I will be addressing the most interesting questions that you ask, not in the super chats, but in in a regular chat. So I'm not leaving you behind. I will be going back and reading everything there is to read. Sean Taylor, thank you. Great message today and spot on. Sean, UK, appreciate your support, Sean. Golden Griffon, whoa, long time no see. This is the person who started watching me on day one, I think. You're the longest, you, Lorna, Mommy, I think 3 of you, the longest members of the community of this channel. So glad you're doing better. You're in my prayers every day. Much love. Thank you so much. Thank you. You are in our prayers every day. Black Cat, Mr. K, send your boy something special, sir. Thank you, Black Cat. I will present him something special. How about that? Thank you. My friends, time's up. Let me just take at least a couple questions and not for long, and we'll go to a prayer. Paula McDonald, 100% agree about China is doing, scary. China is quite the player, quite the country, Tom, I appreciate the email response. What a load off my mind. Tom, so far I have responded to a couple hundred emails, and I think there were like around 100 messages in Patreon. So I don't really remember what I responded, but I'm glad you found it, valuable and interesting. And I still keep on responding. So if you didn't get my email back, please forgive me, but there's just so many of them. Fuyuma, Russia is watching a comet descending from the sky right now, and the comet the bigger every day. This is going to be the last question I take. This is actually a fantastic question. There's a movie I watched on 1st of January, and it's called Don't Look Up. It was on Netflix. I know that I mentioned it like in one of the streams, and people said they watched it too. I want to make a stream about that because that movie kind of reminds me of what is happening in Russia. And that movie is, absurd. Okay. I don't know how it's called, the absurd comedy. Okay. But what is happening here in Russia is very same thing. The comment is right there. And then they're giving us concerts and TV shows and everything. And they keep on saying, don't look up. It's a lie. Don't look up. There's nothing there. And then someone says, well, there's a comet. Don't look up. He's lying to you. But guess what? One day, 1 hour, everyone's going to look up and we'll see a comet. And remember what happened in the movie? Everyone was gone in a second to go and see the families, to say goodbyes, and this is what's going to happen in Russia. People are going to look up and say, whoa, wait a second, there's a comet in the sky. So anyway, thank you so much. It's been good. I feel energetic. I feel ready to go. I feel that I need to do lots of filming. I actually started filming a short film. It's going to be called The City of Rats. And it's going to be about Tashkent. And I hope that I will finish it because this is such a long project. So you understand, it takes me a few hours to get ready for a stream. Now about 2 hours. Used to be from 2 to 4 hours because now I'm much more streamlined, okay? I'd say on average 2 hours. Then I get everything ready for about 45 minutes before the stream. Then I stream for 1 hour, 15 minutes. Then I take everything apart, like lighting, camera, and so forth. And it's 15, 20 minutes. So that's a few hours every day. But it's actually easy for me because it's a streamlined process. But making videos is much more difficult. It takes up so much more time. And it's, it's more time consuming. On average, 20-minute video, I spend 15 to 20 hours making. So you understand what this process is all about. But this time I'm not making just a video. I want to make a short movie about people who have come to Tashkent. I want to show their stories. And my first filming is tomorrow afternoon. So wish me luck. Hopefully within 2 weeks that thing will be ready and I will present it for your attention. So thank you so very much. My friends, let us go to pray. I finish all my streams with prayers. And this is what I will do right now. Thank you so much for giving me a chance. And let's do it. Dear God, thank you so much for giving us this day. Thank you for filling it with purpose. Sometimes we don't understand purpose. Sometimes we do, but we thank you for that anyway. Please, thank you for surrounding us with people we love and who love us. Thank you for giving food on our tables and roofs over our heads. Thank you for, please, keep our children safe and healthy, and give us wisdom to bring them, to educate them the way that they will make this place a better world, and they will never, ever, ever engage into wars with one another, each other. Please help stop bloodshed in Ukraine. Use all means necessary to stop the bloodshed. Reach out people who you know who need to be reached out. Do anything that needs to be done. Touch their hearts, touch their minds, touch their eyes, touch their souls. Do anything is needed so they make decision to stop the bloodshed. Fill their hearts with love and mercy, please. Help everyone who's been affected by this terrible tragedy in Ukraine. Every single person. Give them strength, give them forgiveness, give them peace, give them recovery, and answer their prayers and make their wishes come true. Give them anything they need to be given to make their lives better, please. Please help those who are helping Ukrainians, opening their hearts, wallets, doors, houses, sending them wishes, money, giving them shelter, food, and just helping them. God bless these people. Please send everyone in Ukraine an angel. And so that angel keeps every person the angel is sent to safe, out of danger. So not one single drop of blood is shed any longer. Please help my country, Russia. Send strongest angels with sharpest swords, led by Saint Michael, to get rid of the demons who have hijacked it. Make it run by the angels. Make it righteous again. Make it shine again, please. Help those who are traveling. Give them safe travels. Help those who are fleeing Russia, who don't want to fight in this terrible, terrible conflict. Please give them safe travels and give them necessary help. Please help Ukrainians who are fleeing, running for their lives. Please send help their way. Please help all the women who are pregnant and deciding whether to keep their babies or not. Please reach out and talk to them so they make the right decision. Thank you for allowing us to create this wonderful online community. Thank you for bringing us together and allowing us to pray together. Please help everyone who is praying right now or watching us pray. Answer the prayers and make the dreams come true. I would like to mention people who need your help. Dear God, please help Rafaela Fromm and her daughter Anna, Priscilla, Michelin, King Nero, Gaby Hyman, Martin, Joanne, Donald, Alice and Dave Moyers. I found Waldo, Liz, Deborah, Isabel Legault, may her father rest in peace. Janice Burgess, Maureen M. and her sister, Ariana. Terry Scrugg, Bruce, Kaylin, Michael, Thomas, Tony, Bob, Jessica, Minutes to Midnight, Sandy Workman and her husband, Rod, Heidi Howitz, Mr. Hanson, Golden Griffon, Geeky's Granddad, Terry Carter, Carol Reed, Robert Morgan's sister, Jacob, please help with his bad addiction, Umel and Jennifer, Ian, Ashley and her family, Angelic at Life, Cosme Sion, please help. Florian G also needs help. Michael Milkevitz, Yelena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Bonnie, Galina, and Igor, Buzz, Jean-Paul, Paula, Janine, Michael, Marlene, Susan S., Fiona, Madeline, Stephen, Ellen, Freddie, Sabrina, Felicia, Paul Binz, Preachier's father, family of Rudy Kaisley, Richard, Mallory M., Dirk Misler, please send speedy recovery and he's dead. James Rhodes, Jess Terry, Brittany S., please rest in peace, soul of Lars Henrik's father. Lane Hankins, wait for it. Reese Gray, our friend who has been missing from this community. We would like to see him well. Bridget Apley, please rest the soul of Britzel Anderson peace and give the family to the strength to go through this tragedy. Hannah and her children. May Scott Nesbitt's sister rest in peace. Ian needs help with depression. Heather. User Common Sense. Grace Philosophy. Ace. User. Okay, that's it. I would like to ask for 4 children. They are Maverick, Sebastian, Coulter, and Scan, family grandson. Please help the children. Show you mercy, show you a miracle, and show you love. They need your help and their families need your help. Thank you for giving me strength and to continue what I'm doing. And thank you so much for showing me the way. Thank you for giving me the answer in a very timely manner. Thank you, dear God, Jesus Christ. Amen. My friends, thank you so much. You're awesome and you rock. I will see you tomorrow. And before I sign off, the Carthage must fall.